March is turning out to be one of those months. I'm sure you know those months, the ones that stuff keeps popping up and you're like, okay, why didn't I know that was coming? I should have known that was coming. Or, okay, I didn't expect that. And that was kind of out of left field. Well, for us, March is turning out to be one of the months where they're all happening at one time, and it isn't fun. Hey guys, it's Wendy Valencia. My husband Mauricio and I are in the process of paying off a lot of debt, like $300,000 worth of debt. Well, actually, more than that. We have our debt, we have other debt. There's debt abound in here. So, today I wanted to talk to you about how to handle stuff that pops up. Now, y'all know we have a cushion in our budget because we know that little stuff's going to pop up every month. Like Melina decides to buy an extra lunch at school, or, there's a book fair that I've forgotten about, or maybe a coworker loses a family member and you want to send flowers or something like that. It really does fortify you or strengthen you as a budgeter as to how you deal with these particular scenarios. So some people opt to have sinking funds for this kind of stuff, a pile of cash on the side that when something comes up they just pull that cash out. For us, we put $100 cushion in the budget for stuff that comes up, and then we put an additional $100 in the budget for things that we need to buy. So that's a $200 cushion for us, but that cushion ain't cutting it this month. It is really one of those months. So I wanted to talk about the things that have come up and why they've come up and what the logic for them coming up is. Were they true surprises, or were they things that got missed or things that got ignored? Because all of them happened. So let me go over what some of these things were. So the first thing was pretty massive. It's going to be about $600, and it was pay the tax guy. Why? I don't know. I know in March we always pay our tax guy. We always do our taxes in March because it gives, us till the beginning of February to get the tax records in and received from everywhere they come from. And then it gives me all of February to organize the spreadsheets and everything that need to go to the tax guy. And then in March, at the beginning of March, we send them every year. It's not a surprise. It's even in my spreadsheet to remind me. But what I will tell you is I forgot to use my spreadsheet when I made the budget in March. Not even joking. So here is issue number one. If you have a spreadsheet that has every single expense you're going to expend for a year, you might want to use it. Yeah, that's me being a little sarcastic with myself. If I remember correctly, I created my budget on the fly. It wasn't my normal system. And if you know anything about me, I have a system and a routine for absolutely everything in my life. And if I deviate from that system, things get forgotten. And this time it looks like I forgot to go to my annual spreadsheet, which is a direct cause of the just endless screw ups that are coming into our budget this month. So, if it makes you feel better, I have been budgeting for 10 years. 10 years, almost 11 now. And I still make mistakes. And some of them are massive, like this month. The next one's a little confusing. I forgot to budget for spring break camp for Melina. There's two reasons for that. One, we initially thought that we were going to Columbia over spring break, so I took her out of SAC spring break camp. So so she's not automatically enrolled in that, which normally if that were the case, we would just pay for it then. But because I took her out, we've got to find her another camp to go to since we're not going to Columbia at spring break time anymore. So then I guess I just forgot that we actually have to pay for it. I don't know. I just, I can honestly tell you I have no idea why this didn't make it into the budget. Now, her spring break camp, not a big deal because we have a camp sinking fund and we could take money out of that, but we're gonna have to pay for summer camp. So I'm I'm not sure how where that money is gonna come from, but those two things alone are $1,000. And I can use my emergency fund, which by the way is $1,000. But I got more stuff on this list. So the next thing on our list is that I fell massively. It was like ass over tea kettle in a huge way. I was walking through the parking garage at work, and I swear a ghost stuck his leg out and tripped me because there was literally nothing for me to trip over. I don't know how it happened, but I was vertical and then I was on my face. So, fortunately, the only damage I had was like a big wound on my knee that was this big. I am not even kidding you. It was this big. Because I was coming in from my car, I had my coat on, I had my leather gloves, I had knee high leather boots and a dress, and some really, really thick tights on. And I mean, I just face planted. It was bad. And I, put a huge dent in the thermos. I was carrying like a thermos smoothie container, and I put a huge dent in it and scraped up the whole bottom. All my stuff went flying. It was a disaster. Fortunately, nobody saw me, but then I made the fatal error of walking into my office and telling my boss. And so he decided he was going to pull the video and show it to everybody because it was so funny. And that's fine. I'm a good sport. When I tumbled, everything was fine. I didn't mess up my boots, which was amazing because they were super expensive boots and I would have been heartbroken if I ruined them. I didn't mess up my gloves. I didn't mess up my face. But I did rip my coat pretty massively right down the front. And it's like a typical puffer coat. And so it's quilted and the rips go across several pieces of quilting. So I don't think it's going to be repairable. So, and I had literally like 2 days before just gotten that coat back from the tailor who had sewn up one of the pockets that ripped out because it's an older coat and is Mauricio and I have been discussing me needing to replace it, but I didn't want to because I don't want to spend the money on a new coat. So anyway, I'm still not spending money. I'm going to work with a coat with a huge rip in the front right now. I'm thinking about buying a roll of black duct tape because it's black puffer coat and covering up the holes with black duct tape. I'm pretty sure Mauricio is going to have a fit, but it's almost the end of winter, although it did snow yesterday. But I don't want to buy another coat. I just need it to last a couple more weeks and then it'll probably be warm enough I can start going to a jacket. I'm so frustrated by all of this. So don't expect to see that in my budget. And then this one was like an actual true surprise. It was quite shocking and upsetting, and it is what it is. So every year, the county that we live in sends out tax forms about your vehicle. If you drive your vehicle for business, you get one tax rate. If you drive your vehicle for predominantly pleasure, you get another tax rate. And it comes pretty much at the beginning of the year. And you fill it out and you tell them what you use your car for. Well, we filled ours out for 2016 for, pleasure. Because at that point, Mauricio was not really working when we filled it out. And so what ended up happening is in 2016, Mauricio started Ubering and Amazon Flexing. Well, obviously he used the car and obviously we claimed the mileage on our taxes. Great, fantastic. However, we don't get that tax break anymore. And so one side of the county said, oh, look, you paid this much in taxes and you claimed this much in mileage, and oh wait, over here you only paid this much in personal car taxes. So they sent us a bill due within 2 weeks of receipt. Yeah, so I received it at the beginning of March. That means it's due in the middle of March, and it is $500. So yeah, we're up to, I don't know, $1,700 that I didn't plan for in the budget. So a little frustrating, a little annoying. So how are we going to pay for it? basically what we're going to do is we are going super tight on the rest of the month, and we're going to just use as much cash from the month as we can, and then we're going to take money from next month to pile it in, because as y'all know, I very rarely will touch my emergency fund. If it were more than $1,000, I'd be inclined to touch it, but it really wouldn't matter, because if I take the money from the emergency fund over here, the following month I have to refund the emergency fund. So I might as well just take money from this pile of money that I have for April and just take it directly and fund it now. So we're gonna try and just wing it. I am super frustrated, super annoyed, but it is what it is. And budgeting screw ups happen. So give me a thumbs up if you've ever had a budgeting screw up, because I know you have. I know I have. I have them all the time. So if you are into budgeting and momming, make sure you subscribe down below, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya. We're out.